here, check for damage.
So this is just a general check. You know, the good thing is our airplane sits in a hangar, so it usually can't get any damage. So, I mean, we're gonna walk around the whole airplane, so it makes sense. So we're gonna do it as like a complete walk around check, okay? So let's start where we got out of the airplane. Follow us, camera gal.
Okay.
All right. So you know what this part of the airplane is called?
This is a flap.
That is correct. And even if you forget, it says flap when it's down like this. So what we want to check is, remember, we always want to make sure that all the hardware that bolts the plane together and makes things move is all in good shape and it's present, no cracks, nothing missing, nothing loose. So that's part of it. And then you can wiggle it like this, Eddie. See? So you get to know what's normal in the movement of your control. So that's completely normal. Try it.
Will it be easy or hard to tell if it's normal?
It'll be pretty easy if it's not normal. Okay, so just light, gentle movement. And then we want to look underneath here and see the bolts there at the hinge points. We want to make sure the bolts and nuts are there.
And
nothing's missing.
I see if the nuts are there.
Yep. You see them all?
That's there, that's there.
Good. Excellent. All right, come on up. Next is, do we know what part of the airplane this is? Need help? No, it's an aileron. So if you watch, it says no push, but it's okay. I'm going to be real gentle. See, watch the control. See? So that's the aileron.
So that's what it controls it from going.
It controls our roll.
Okay.
Okay. So same thing. We want to make sure. Where are you going? No. Here. We're doing everything outside. We're not getting back in. So we want to make sure all the screws are there. There's a hinge here with screws here. You see? And then there's a pin also. So you make sure the nuts are on the bottom of those.
The nuts are there.
And then you see the hinge.
Where's the hinge?
Here, let's look on the top. All right, so see that little wire sticking out the end there?
Yeah.
And then that little wire that's bent sticking out there?
Yeah.
That runs through there, and that's the hinge.
Okay.
Okay, so check this one. Stay with this camera, Gal.
The wire here.
Yeah, you see the wire, you see the bolts on the top. And then we can gently move this up and you can see the nuts. All right, excellent. All right, now this is the wing tip. So we want to make sure. Yeah, we want to make sure our lights aren't broken. They look good, they're clean, and they're ready to go. All right? And we want to make sure that the wingtip is on secure. So we're looking at all the screws that hold things on. You wouldn't want to see any missing screws anywhere on the plane, okay?
Even if it's just one.
Even one. We want to look at that and see why are we missing that screw then. Yep, see there's screws there.
And even if it's just one throughout the whole plane.
Yep, all right, so back up a little, camera girl. I want to show something here. So this plane has 4 fuel tanks. This is a fuel tank. See how this looks here?
Is it a full tank?
And then this is a fuel tank.
And there's 2.
On the other side. No, let's not go over there. Let's stick where we are. We're gonna get to those, okay? Let's stay in where we're at. So now let's check the fuel. Okay, so that would be the next step. And I want you to check that fuel gauge in the wing there on the inboard tank.
Can I go get it? Can I come up?
No.
Do this?
Yeah, you can. Okay. All right. Yeah. Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. There you go. All right. Do you see any fuel in there? And you can wiggle the wing to see if you can see it slashing.
There's some fuel.
Huh?
Yes, there's some fuel.
Okay, so that means that we have definitely over 25 gallons because this fuel gauge is also full. Can you get a look at that? Here, let me help you. All right, there. Okay. So that one is full. Now we got to use these. Go underneath. Remember, Daddy?
You gotta go get the thing.
What thing?
The roller.
Oh, you don't need it for this part. You don't. All right, here. Let's check. Let's check this fuel drain. Remember how to do this? Oh, I gotta turn this around because this is the pin type. Remember, I have two kinds on the plane.
Yeah.
Okay. And make sure you go straight up with it and don't bend it because you could break that thing off in there. Go straight up. You're going at an angle. There you go. All right, back. You can come down. And remember, touch it to it to make sure it's not leaking. Get all the fuel off of it. There you go. Perfect. All right. See, I think you are super way too close on all of this video. I mean, you're like right up on it. You need to be kind of a little bit backed away. All right. So what we want to do is look at it. It should be blue,
Yes,
right?
it's blue. But
Yeah.
there is some bugs.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of trash in there. And then there's no water. Remember what water looks like in the fuel?
It's there's gonna be bubbles because water is thinner than fuel.
Water's heavier than fuel. So it looks like bubbles on the bottom. Remember? Okay, but this is good. You can go ahead and pour it back in. Remember, you use the screen side to pour it back in. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we'll do the inboard tank. All right. I gotta switch it around because this one's the other kind. Now we're gonna need it. We're gonna pour the fuel back in.
Oh, right.
Okay. So this one you just push up, line it up and push up. Go straight up. Help.
That should be good.
Let's go a little bit more. All right, there you go.
This is actually bluer than.
The other sample. All right. So we do have a little bit of trash,
There's no water.
but there is no water.
So.
We're still getting trash out of that fuel tank from when it sat in a field. All right, pour it in. All right, and then you can put the cap back on. I'm gonna clean this out.
Wait.
All right, is it secure?
Yeah.
Okay. That looks good. We definitely wouldn't want it coming off while we're flying.
Yeah, because then you could possibly lose our fuel.
All right, next, let's check the gear here. Pop down here. All right, what we want to look for on our landing gear is we want to look at the tire, make sure it's in good condition. There's no cuts, no flat spots. You're way too close still. And also,
Oh my.
it's okay. It's just leaking a little fuel. Just got to seat it a little bit. Let's see. Make sure it's not leaking.
Remember when that side kept leaking? Or was it this side?
I can't remember. I think it was this side.
Yeah.
No, it
But
was
anyway,
the other side.
Come on, let's stay focused. So we want to make sure. See all the hardware that's here, all the bolts, the nuts. We want to make sure everything's present in good condition. Nothing's missing. We want to make sure there's nothing up in there in the wheel well that would interfere when remember the wheels go up and retract into the wing. And then we want to look. See this silver part that's showing right here? We want to make sure we have at least 4 inches on the strut there.
Yeah, I would say that's about 4 inches.
It's probably about 5.5, 6 inches. And then we want to look at the brake. So this is the brake right here, Addison. This is the brake caliper, and then this is the brake disc. So the disc squeezes on that disc to stop us when we need to stop. Okay?
Can't stop in the air.
No, not in the air, on the ground. All right, this is our fresh air intake. This is how we get fresh air. We want to make sure that's not clogged at all.
Yeah, let me use my phone.
Should be good. How's it look?
It's good.
Okay, nice and clear. All right, now since we've got the door open and we're over here, we look at the glass, Addison. Make sure there's no cracks. Nothing.
There's one in the inside.
No, that's just some. Oh yeah, it might be some. It's just a spot that needs to be cleaned. There we go. How's that? Then we check the front windshield also. All right. We check the baggage compartment here. Make sure no issues in there. All right. Yeah, there's two baggage compartments. So this is the nose baggage compartment, and then we have the rear baggage compartment. Okay. All right. Now let's look under here. So again, we want to look at the tire, make sure it's properly inflated. Looking at the hardware, and then also this one is a little bit less. I believe it's 3.5 inches that we need. So you see, it's a little bit more compressed.
Yeah. Is that flat?
No, it's fine. That tire looks like that quite often, so that's correct. All right, now moving up to the front, we want to check the propeller. What we really want to look out for is any nicks in the leading edge of the propeller that might have been made by a rock, because it can cause a crack in the propeller. That's the trailing edge. This is the leading edge. So it's the leading edge, not so much the trailing edge. This is the edge that is the important.
There might be some.
Yeah, you can check both sides, it's okay. Now check the other propeller. Same thing, run your fingers along it.
These airplanes are so old that it might have like ones that we don't need to worry about though.
No. All right, we want to check the spinner. This is called the spinner.
No birds.
Yeah, you're right. No birds, no bird's nest, nothing inside there. We want to make sure everything looks good. Come here, I want to show you another thing over here, which is the alternator belt. So see this belt right here?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too tight, but it shouldn't be too loose. So feel that. That's about normal. And then you can actually see the alternator right there. That's what makes the electricity when the engine turns. Okay? So you want to make sure all the fasteners are here. See all the fasteners on the spinner? You want to make sure nothing's missing. Look at the bottom side.
No.
Everything look good. Nothing looks loose.
No.
Okay. This is the propeller governor right here. You see this? This is what controls the pitch of the propeller blade. So we want to make sure that the control arm is attached and not loose.
Oh, I remember what was thinking.
And it's attached. Alright, here's the air that is used for the engine to.
There's no business.
You already checked it. So take a look. You can see the filter. See that red looking filter? That's the air filter down inside there. Okay. All right, now on this side, let's check this side of the tire. We kind of checked the other side when we were there. This is called the shimmy dampener. So this keeps the nose wheel from, when I say shimmy, it like wants to vibrate back and forth, like this way sometimes. So this helps keep it still and not shimmy. And then these are the gear doors, so these close when the gear retracts.
So it doesn't fall out.
Yeah, and then you want to look up inside there, make sure all the hardware looks good, nothing's out of place.
Here, you want me to do it? Nope. Nothing there.
Okay. Careful, T. Well, I think you're missing it. There you go. All right. Looks good. Come on up, Addie bud. All right. All right, now we'll look at this side. Remember, we're just looking at the general condition. All the hardware fasteners are there. Windshield looks good, no cracks. No issues with the glass there.
Are you supposed to be
No, that's normal. That's there. There's actually one on the other side there too, and the other tank as well. All right.
Hey, let's go ahead and.
No, let's look here first. We're gonna get there. Remember, we're trying to go around in order. That's our fresh air intake. Now I want you to look at the gear on this side, the main gear. Remember, we're looking at the tire, looking for any cuts, any problems that you might see. Look at the brake and the brake disc, make sure they're in good condition.
That's leaking, we didn't even use it.
Look in the gear wheel well, make sure that there's nothing blocking the landing gear from retracting.
No, but this is leaking, we didn't even use it.
Yeah, we're gonna check it here right now, so we'll make sure it seals up. All right, Addison, you wanna go ahead? And remember, we wanna make sure we have at least around 4 inches there for the strut, the silver thing.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Remember, go straight up. Don't bend it, don't turn it. Gotta push kind of hard. Use both hands if you have to. Yeah. Okay. Got enough? Remember, touch it to it to try to stop the leak or leaking, so we can check to see if it is leaking. All right, that's good. And come on out. What do you see? How does it look?
There's not much. Trash is not much.
Spin it around. How about any water?
No, no water.
Here, swirl it. Yep,
No water.
looks good. Since it looks good, we can go ahead and just do this one without dumping it first. Go ahead and do this one.
Wait, I thought there was like one that.
No, this one, there's 3 that are like the pin kind, and there's the one that's not the pin kind. Okay, that's good. Oh, touch it to it so you catch the drip. Okay?
Yeah, there's not much trash in here either.
All right. Now this thing right here, this is called the pitot tube. All right. Well, you finished doing that.
Nope.
All right, come on. Let's dump it. We can do it over here. This way, guys. Oh, you're still okay. Yeah, you're still. I'm gonna take this one off, Tegan, because this one's hard to do. So you can see her doing it.
A rag real quick?
A what?
A rag?
Oh, sure. Here's a big deal. Whenever you're doing something like that, just make sure that you don't push trash into the thing. Okay? Yeah. And I'm gonna put this back on because this one's for record. Did you take a peek in there and do a little inspection? Can you see fuel? A lot of fuel? And the gauge here also shows full, so we know we have plenty of fuel.
About 2 to 3 inches.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Oh, she was strong.
Okay, but T, back off so I can get it. All right, Addie, bud. All right, that one's secure. This one's hard to do. All right, why don't you go put this back in the baggage compartment? See, like, you should be like, see how close you are? When you watch this video over, and see, you should be seeing Addison. You're like, all you're seeing is her body in these videos instead of her doing her thing.
Yeah, okay, but some videos, they don't show any heads.
No, we want heads.
Okay.
We're gonna show Addison. Oh, that's an external power cord. We don't use it because I don't have that kind of plug. That's what that's for. All right. So let's talk about this. This is the stall warning indicator. Remember, I had to turn the master switch on, and when the plane...
Oh, do you want to go check that?
No, we don't have to check it this time since we checked it last time. But anyway, that's what that's for.
You have some like toothpaste right here.
All right. One other thing here. This is the pitot tube. This hole right here, that's where the air goes in, and that's what shows up on our instrument panel as our airspeed. So this is where the airspeed comes from, so we want to make sure that hole is open. No bug in it.
dusty.
It is dusty. So, check the landing light, make sure everything's good, not broken. Wingtip, what are we checking over here? Yeah. What about these? Okay. Yeah. All right. What's this part of the plane called again?
Flat. I mean,
Aileron. All right. What are we checking?
to see if it'll, to see all the.
Yep. Hardware's in place. The pin. The nuts on the bottom. Now, when you're outside, I want to tell you something. This is a safety thing. If you were outside and it was a windy day, if you like put this flap up and then came under here and you were putting your fingers under here and the wind hit this, look what it would do. No, look underneath. It will pinch your fingers off. So you want to be very careful when you're inspecting underneath here, if you put your hand in there, just to make sure you're holding it, okay?
Even if it's not a windy day, you still shouldn't, just in case it falls.
All right, did you check the nuts on the bottom?
Yep.
And how about this one?
That's there and the pin's there.
Okay, and then this is what makes it move right here. So you want to check the hardware there, the nut and the bolt. Okay, and while you're under there, what's this part called again?
Flat.
Flat, that's right. So we want to check the nuts and bolts and the hinge points. The 3 hinge points, did you check them? You gotta check them from the bottom. See them? Under here?
Yeah.
Right here? See 3 of them? Here, one on the outboard.
And all the nuts are there.
Okay, good. All right, come on up.
The nuts are there, the nuts.
Sam, we gotta go around the tail first, remember? Won't be long. All right, and then come up. Addison, come on up. You should be done with that.
What about under there?
No, we're good under here. There's nothing room.
What about the fuel?
Yeah, we'll check that in a minute. You mean with the little bucket? Yeah, we'll check. Come on.
Put it right now?
Come on. Stand up. So we want to look at, this is what moves the flaps right here. Come on. Addison, I need you to stop playing with that. Come on. All right, so let's see, you want to make sure that's all there, the nut and the bolts there, and yep, give it a little wiggle. All right, while we're here, we'll check the pin for the door. So make sure the pin is there. Let's see, there's a cotter pin. That's a cotter pin. That's what holds it in place. Check the bottom one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then, we don't really need to open this up, but we can just check the glass. It's in good shape. And we check the, you wouldn't want to see any like big wrinkles here. You're too close, camera girls. Way back. You need to be like back here. Yeah, so you want to make sure there's no wrinkles. And then look, Addison, look at the tail. That's also an air intake for the cabin air that's over the top.
And that's, so that is for like if we crash and
No.
something like that.
I'll show you in a minute. That's just a light. You can see the light there. That's a light on the back as well.
Is that an alpha?
No, this is the vertical stabilizer, the part that doesn't move, and then this is the rudder. So think of it like a boat. It's like a boat rudder. All right. All right. This is, so most airplanes are not like this, where this whole thing moves. This is called a stabilator because the whole thing moves. See?
Mm-hmm.
So we can basically, if you're gentle, I know it says no push, but if you're gentle with it, you can actually push it. Yep.
And then the pin's here.
Okay, look, yeah, this is actually the trim tab.
And that pin.
Mm-hmm. And then we can look at the hardware here that moves the trim tab, make sure it's the bolt and nut are there. You see that?
There.
Okay. So it looks good. And then the rudder, we can't move it because it's connected to
Just barely.
the front wheel.
You
Okay.
can just barely.
Heard that noise.
think it's just like you going too far.
Can you move that up and down for me? Gently. Use both hands on both sides of it, right here. Yeah. Do it again. 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 Oh, you can stop it for a minute, Tegan.